Alrighty guys, this is double wide 6. This is part 4. We're putting back together a snowblower here. So we got the auger assembly and we're ready to put it inside the snowblower attachment. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to put on our flange collars, which go right here, and I've kind of got the parts laid out. So the first thing that we can do, if we take a close look at these bolts up by the head, it's kind of knurled, so it's a little wider. So what we can do is put the bolt through the hole, and then we can hit the backside with a hammer, and that should lock it in place. So we're just going to take a hammer and give it a tap. That should be good. And we want to do that with the next two bolts as well. Alrighty, so if we take a look, I got 3 bolts sticking out the left side, and if we come over to the right side, I have exactly the same thing. So if you take a look here, this is designed to hold the back bearing, the main bearing here, in place. So we're going to take this bracket and we're just going to line it up with those holes, and that should secure our bearing in place before we slide in the impeller shaft. Alrighty, so you might want someone to help you if you're going to try and do this. This snowblower is pretty small, so it should be able to slip this thing through. I'm just going to try and line up that impeller shaft with that bearing. And it looks like we got it. Wasn't too bad. So looking at the back of the unit, you can see how that shaft just came through the back of the bearing there. Okay, I've tipped the snowblower upright to get in the service position, and if you take a look at the bearing, I just lubricated it, and now we're going to put on the bearing guide or guard or cover, and that will drop right on here like this, and you're going to secure 3 7/16 nuts. So the next step, we have a half moon key, and we're going to put this in here and try and get that locked in place. Nice tight fit. And then this triangular piece locks over top of that. So we'll line that up. And we're just going to line up the top of the triangle with the top of the key. And there's actually 2 Allen set screws that we need to lock in place. So here's a better wrench, and that you can see the key actually tighten up as you torque that, and there's actually 2 spots on here that they have Allen screws that you can tighten. Next step, we're going to take our pulley and we're going to drop that right on top of that triangle. And we're going to bolt that down with some 1/2-inch bolts or nuts. And we'll just torque these babies down until they're nice and tight. That should do it. So for the next step, you can see I kind of tilted it upright, and we're going to install the bushing flange on the end here. So here we go with the flange. We're going to take it and line up the shaft on there. And once you have it lined up with the shaft, I'm going to spray a little lubricant in there, and then we'll tighten up our nuts. It's just 3 7/16 nuts. They go on there. We'll quickly secure it. And that should be good. And then we have a 1/2-inch bolt that should go in here along with a washer. There's a washer, and that screws right into the end here. And that one, pretty sure is 1/2 inch. And we'll do the same on the other side. Once you get it all back together and torqued up, you want to go to the back of the machine, find that pulley, and spin it. And it should spin really easily, and you should notice the auger should be spinning along with it. It should be able to go in both directions. If there's any binding, something's not right. And everything's looking good here. It spins quite freely. So now we're going to hook it up to the tractor. And you don't want to forget to put oil in it before we start it. That's the crankcase for the auger. We need to put oil in there. Alright, prior to hooking it up to the tractor, you want to put in your bottom bolts. So right here is where it's going to mount. And they have some 1/2 inch bolts. You want to put them in about 2 to 3 turns on each side. Just the bottom 2. And that's going to help you lock it in place with the tractor. So since I'm working alone, I got this kind of clamped in my vise there a little bit to hold it in place. So you probably need a partner to do this. Be a lot easier. The snowblower goes on the inside of the tractor. So with a little more work, I finally got it together. Well, now I'm trying to put on the belt, and I can't get the belt on because there's not enough room. So what I did is I loosened up the bottom bolt and took out the top bolts on each side. And that way I can lean it enough, I think I can get the belt on. So if you do this yourself, put the belt on first. Well, with a little bit of work, about 5 minutes, and using a screwdriver, I was able to get that belt on. So if you have to change your auger belt, you know, it's probably a good idea to loosen up those bolts and kind of tilt the handles back on the tractor and lean the snowblower attachment forward. Well, now we're just going to put on our belt guard, and then we'll put some oil in that crankcase, and we'll get to test it out. Just 2 3/8 inch bolts. So here's the gear oil I'll be using. Like I said, I called Ariens. They said use 75W140. Make sure it's GL5 rated, and they said you'd be good to go. So this is 85W140, pretty close. And the smaller container I'm using to pour what's in the bigger container, because it's cheaper to buy it by the gallon, but then it's hard to put in your equipment. So I've poured some of this already in the smaller container. Now we're gonna put it in there. So here's what you do. You put your snowblower on level ground. You're gonna get a 9/16 wrench, and you're gonna take out your plug. And according to Ariens, there's no way to overfill it. You're gonna fill it up using this ketchup style bottle until it actually overflows out of here. So we'll put a rag under here. Of course, this rag's probably not big enough. And we're just going to fill it up with oil. I'm just trying to squeeze the container. And now we're just going to tighten up our plug. Should be good to go. So here we go. We'll give it a start here, and we'll see how the job works.
Everybody, this is Double Wide 6's wife. I'm in with the kids all day while Double Wide's out here making useless videos. Oh, it would be nice if I had a break too. Yeah, well, keep tuning in to Double Wide 6. Look, he doesn't even have anything to say.
That's great.
Are you going to keep this in the video?
No. Maybe.